Then wise Telemachus answered her, and said, O my mother, why then did thou grudge the sweet minstrel to gladden us as his spirit moves him? It is not minstrels who are in fault, but Zeus, methinks, is in fault, who gives men that live by bread, to each one as he will. As for him, it is no blame if he sings the ill-faring of the Danaans. For men always prize that song the most, which rings newest in their ears. But let thy heart and mind endure to listen. For not Odysseus only lost in Troy the day of his returning, but many another likewise perished. Howbeit go to thy chamber, and mind thy own housewiferys, the loom and distaff, and bid thy handmaids ply their tasks. But speech shall be for men, for all, but for me in chief, for mine is the lordship in the house. Then in amaze she went back to her chamber, for she laid up the wise saying of her son in her heart. She ascended to the upper chamber with the women her handmaids, and then was bewailing Odysseus, her dear lord, till grey-eyed Athena cast sweet sleep upon her eyelids. Now the wooers clamored throughout the shadowy halls, and each one uttered a prayer to be her bedfellow. And wise Telemachus first spake among them. Wooers of my mother, men despiteful out of measure, let us feast now and make merry, and let there be no brawling. For lo, it is a good thing to list a minstrel such as him, like to the gods in voice. But in the morning let us all go to the assembly and sit us down, that I may declare my saying outright, to wit that ye leave these halls, and busy yourselves with other feasts, eating your own substance, going in turn from house to house. But if ye deem this a likelier and better thing, that one man's good should perish without atonement, then waste ye as ye will, and I will call upon the everlasting gods, if haply Zeus may grant that acts of recompense be made. So should ye hereafter perish within the halls without atonement. Well, Telemachus just found his backbone, it seems. Maybe a little too much. I don't know why he's directing his ire at his mother, especially for her request of the minstrel to stop playing a song that reminds her of her missing husband. He sticks up for the minstrel, saying that it's not their fault that he's singing that song. It's not the minstrel's fault. It's not Phemius's fault that he's singing that song. In fact, I think it's Zeus who's to blame, because isn't he the one that divinely inspires minstrels to sing whatever's in their heart at any given time? It's not his fault. Get out of here. And then he yells at his mom to go, well, I wasn't a big fan of this one, I'll tell you that one. Go to thy chamber and mind thy own housewiferys, the loom and distaff, and bid thy handmaids ply their okay, essentially saying go back to the, you know what I mean. I don't even want to say it because I don't like it, but this is ancient Greece we're talking about. I can't blame it too much. But not being a fan of that, I am a bit of a fan of him turning to all of the scoundrels, all of the wooers about his house, and telling them in no certain terms, finish what you're doing tonight. We can all have a good time, but in the morning, we're going to go down to the assembly being like, that was, to my understanding, where men would hash out their disagreements. So City Hall, picture one of those like public spaces. It was a more, kind of those open air gathering places. You picture lots of movies and TV that depict ancient Greece, Rome. There's lots of men sitting around, usually in a horseshoe or a circle. If it's real fancy, you got like stadium seating, and an orator would be in the center giving his point of view, and arguments would ensue, etc., etc. So that's essentially what assembly is, and that is where men would go to hash out their differences, as I said. So he's saying, tomorrow, if we still got a problem, let's go down to the assembly and hash this out with law, because I'm not going to sit here and take this anymore. You're not going to sit here without atonement to my father, to what you're doing. If you don't agree, we'll see if Zeus may grant acts of recompense against y'all. So if you aren't going to do it, we're going to get essentially God involved. Zeus, God of gods. Maybe he'll come down and zap your faces with one of his lightning bolts. I mean, he's not saying that exactly. That's my words. But basically, that's what he's saying. If you aren't going to show respect, I'm going to make you show respect. And if I'm not going to be able to make you show respect, maybe Zeus will. So Telemachus finally sticking up for himself and saying here, even though I don't like what he was saying to his mother, he does say here, speeches for men, blah, blah, blah. But for me in chief, for mine is the lordship in this house. He's saying that to Penelope, but I imagine, it's, again, let's picture our TV series, prestige drama that we're creating with this. Like, he's throwing his ire at his mother, but like in that line, I can see him kind of pivoting and turning to the entire room to say, my voice is the voice that matters in this house. I am the Lord, goddammit, Zeus, damn it, and you're going to listen to me. That line is him reclaiming his constitution, his grit. So what do we think? Are these wooers going to laugh him out of Ithaca, or are they going to listen to him? Is there going to be a barroom brawl? There's only one way to find out, and that's to jump into the penultimate episode of Book 1. See you here tomorrow. Okay, goodbye. Odyssey is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. The show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Odyssey, written by Homer. Theme song by Neuroflow. You can support this show and other shows like it by going to patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.